Hey guys, it's Matt. Someone sent me a video recently, and I think in the note to me in the email said some of the message was somewhat similar to some of the things I say, and I didn't see that at all. It was more of a fear-based video. We're trapped here. We're screwed. We never agreed to come here. We were tricked as souls and spirits. Hell realm, negative. I just don't understand this position. And one of the things I'm going to concentrate on in this video is as you sift through all this crap all over YouTube, just in someone's delivery, you can get a sense, is this someone that I really should be listening to? And when there's a tremendous amount of anger that continues to boil up, I think this is a red flag, guys, to run away. I really do. Now, I get a little angry sometimes at what we call not milk, at the system itself. Sometimes I get a little frustrated with the people around us. I say, those dopes or whatever, but there's always like a little bit of kidding, right? You son of a beach. I mean, it's mostly joking. Do you really ever hear me get truly angry? Those sons of bitches! I don't get that way. So here's a good example of what I'm talking about in terms of some of these videos I've been seeing. Many atheists get very upset at those that are believers, Christians and other religions. They turn angry very quickly, and it is a giveaway that their position isn't very strong, or they wouldn't be angry at all. Let's say there's some ants that are trying to mess with your house or your apartment, and they're building a little mound of dirt against your cement step. Would that get anybody angry? If your position is so secure, you would never get angry on somebody that's so lost. The atheist will say, and I'm just using this atheist conversation to bridge into what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the people that get highly angry at those that believe that we agreed to come here before birth. They're so upset about it. But let's go back to the way many atheists act. They get very perturbed. To the atheist, the Christian is lost, or the other religions are completely lost. A fictitious God in the sky, the atheists say. Well, if these people are so lost, why are you angry? Don't you just see them as the ants trying to push little dirt mounds against your house? I mean, why? What's the anger for if your position is so secure? To me, when somebody gets angry, it's like a bluff in a card game. It's trying to add to the conviction of the argument when the conviction isn't there on its own to a degree. Like when Inman from Cold Mountain said, repeat the thing, don't improve it none. If you repeat it, Ada Monroe, it's not improving if you're adding anger to your argument, you're in a way trying to improve your argument. That's simply what it is. It's a dash of salt on a weak argument. Sorry, if you're so secure and correct and positive, there would be no reason for any anger. So in talking about the atheists, that's not what this presentation is about. I just wanted to use an example that many of you have come across and are familiar with. As you know, I have no religion, and I never will have a religion. I don't believe I need Jesus to get out of here. I appreciate the comment. You're not going to apologize again. No, but I don't get angry. I understand. Okay, I understand where people are coming from. It's okay. I mean, you never heard me get angry at a certain religion or anything like that. So that's just an example. What I'm specifically talking about, those that get angry, very perturbed at basically what I say, and many of us here believe, that we agreed to come here. Oh my God, that's horrible. Why not just have a conversation about the position? There'd be no reason for anger. Matt, I think you're a little lost. There's no possible, somebody may say to me, I don't think there's any chance we agreed as spirits to come here before birth. I think we were trapped and tricked and came here against our will. Now, I'd like to talk to you about my position. What would be the reason for anger against my position? See that? I'm sorry. That's a giveaway that your position is not quite that strong. There's no reason for the anger. You understand the words coming out of my mouth? And for those that don't know where that reference came from, because I have nothing original on my own, Chris Tucker, and what was it? Was it one of those Jackie Chan movies? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And it's a Chris. I can't do the Chris Tucker very well. I think, what is it called? Rush Hour, I think? That's where it came from. I don't have any original thoughts. You know that. Actually, let's do 45 seconds or less here on Chris Tucker. Bill, here's another actor that only plays himself. There is no ability to act. It's the same exact persona in every single video. Put him on in your poster, Bill. I just saw, Matt, you're going to talk about Chris Tucker in the middle of a video where you're talking about potentially souls being trapped and tricked and our potential eternal existence is at stake? Well, yeah, why not? 20 more seconds. I just saw Jackie Brown, which is an incredibly good movie. I rank it top 2 or 3 for Quentin Tarantino movies. And here, Chris Tucker pops up. I forgot he was in it. Man, I can't take a ride with you. You're going to take a ride with me. And I can't say what he says. They can only say that to each other. He says, I just paid $10,000 to get, man, I can't. Okay, it's the same day. Sorry, let's get back to those that get angry and want to push the soul trap nonsense. So this video that was sent to me was from somebody making a presentation who I had never heard of before. But again, if any part of this presentation, Matt's talking about this channel. No, I'm not. Do you think over the past 15 years, I've ever come across presenters talking about Saturn Moon Matrix, Prison Planet, Soul Trap? Yeah, it's not new to anybody. It's a repeating theme. But this presentation was coming from somebody I had never heard before. So immediately I sensed the anger in the position, which that is a gigantic red flag. And go watch David Carradine in Kung Fu. The masters, whether it be Shaolin or anything else, are always calm. There's never anger. That's a giveaway right there. I can get angry at Not Milk, but not at you or anybody listening to this because of your position. I might want to debate you at a Billy Madison podium against your position, but if immediately I start to run you down or put forth personal attacks, that's a giveaway that my position isn't very strong. And I'm certainly not talking about Guy's most recent video. I don't understand the title of his video compared to what he read. What he read, there were some beautiful parts to what he read regarding his son and some of the beautiful things that are here. It's part of my argument. If this is hell, what are these beautiful things for? I don't understand Guy's title regarding what he talked about. I thought what he talked about was very interesting, and he's always calm, so I pay more attention to his presentation. So someone like me saying it's extremely likely that we agreed as a spiritual being of some kind to come and have this experience. What is the opposite of that? Those that put forth these sorts of things, really, like, and hate might be a strong word, but it seems like it bubbles up in these people from time to time. They don't like that position, and their anger comes out or their rage comes out against it. The other side of that would be, again, same old terms, Prison Planet, Saturn Moon Matrix, Recycling Trap, Hell Realm, Trick, devious actors, Demiurge, all this stuff. Screwed, negative. Well, let's see. Again, if I was taking a Billy Madison podium, let's see what my bullet points would. Let's see where the common sense of it lines up, instead of just ranting and raving and being angry at people that may suggest that we agreed to actually come here to have an experience. Put the anger aside and make a logical argument. Then one of these people would say to me, Matt, what do you know? What toppings you got, old man? If I was taking a Billy Madison podium against you, I'd first say, what's your experience in this, your spiritually broke ass? I'd say, I want to ask you a question, Matt. I'd say, have you ever traveled out of body, Matt? And then I'm on the other side of the podium. I'd lean into the microphone and say, no. Have you ever traveled into the astral realm, Matt? And I would lean in and say, no, but my Dungeons and Dragons character did a few times. What experience you got? I would say, for me to write about it or to present an opinion about it, do I have to have done it myself? So nobody can write about the Civil War if they weren't in the middle of the battlefield? There wouldn't be no books if that's the case. See, I've said before, I've been surrounded for 15 years by hundreds of the smartest people in this realm that have had these experiences. And I'm good at weighing what's true and real and what's bullshit. So I absorb and ingest the experiences of potentially thousands, if you include the comments over the years, and then I put forth a newly refined understanding of what this reality is. I don't have to have done it myself. I don't need to have been on the front lines of Pickett's charge to write a book about it. Also, over the years, I've noticed in these sorts of presentations, there's a trend that can be noticed. The more the presentation is out to convince somebody that there's no way we agreed to come in here, we were trapped and tricked, and we're screwed, and prison plan, all the negative, there's a few things they don't do. The more negative and angry they are, they almost never give you a solution. You know, I've listened to these videos. Well, certainly if you're going to present such an argument that we would have never agreed to, well, I'm waiting. What's this? At least I think it's the Tibetan Book of the Dead is a bunch of horse shit. Tibetan Book of the Dead. It's right over here. We're gonna make fun of it in the next few weeks. Rob sent it to me, big hardback, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. At least it tries to provide some sort of ridiculous solution as to where you should run when the certain color lights appear. It's a map through the corn maze. I listen to these videos like, well, where's the suggestion about what we should do if we're so trapped and tricked and you're so confident that the demiurge did this and that? There's no solutions. What? That's like serving an ice cream cone with just a cone. Where's the ice cream? It doesn't make any sense. So let me get this straight. You're going to make this huge presentation about how trapped we all are, and then, video cut off. Wait a second. Well, well, maybe the point was just to put the fear. Yeah, I'm not saying these people are in on it. Almost everybody here is on some sort of download. One of the main goals in this life is to become lucid, to see through the trick and to remove yourself from all frequencies, all ties, Jacob Marley chains. So who these people think they're presenting all, Philemon, Carl Jung's imaginary friend that said, Carl, your thoughts aren't your own. How do we know these people's thoughts are their own? How do they know that? And what's the anger for? Well, if you're going to make a presentation as to how screwed we all are, the last 5 minutes better be about what to do about it. And is anybody listening say, well, Matt, this channel tells you exactly. I'm not talking about that channel then. I'm talking in general. These are common themes when this sort of presentation is made. Wes Penray again pops up. At least he's talked about, I don't know, you crawl through, you try to find some grid in the dark or something. I don't buy that stuff. But at least he's trying to present some solution, crawl around and find some grid or get out through a grid. I don't know. I'm not talking about Wes Penray's channel in this case, or the one where you say it provides a solution. I'm thrilled that yours does. I'm talking about in general, in terms of what I've heard at least over 10 years now. Okay, Matt, you've been pretty honest. You've acknowledged that you don't fly out of body and you don't have these sorts of astral travel experiences. You don't remember past lives, but there's been potentially hundreds of smart people around you that provided their experiences. Okay, that's pretty good. That's only 25%. I want to stress that. Most of it is observing what is going on out our window right now. Always comes back to the same things. And the old guard's like, he's not going to say it again, are you? Oh, we've heard that before, Matt. But it's never addressed by, say, these sorts of channels that I'm talking about. You know what I'm going to say? Why are they working so hard on us now if we're so screwed in a recycling system where we're almost have no chance of getting out and we didn't agree to come here? Our all-powerful spirit was sucked into this material world. Why are they working on us so hard now to shape our perceptions and what we believe about ourselves and the world? Yeah, have anybody heard me say that before? Just a little bit. But it's never addressed by anybody out there except me, or I throw it out. I'm waiting for these other channels to address it. They don't. Matt, how arrogant are you? Not everybody listens to your broke ass. Okay, I hear you. But why are they working so hard now on us to shape? We are all powerful because it works on us constantly, not only to shape our perception of ourselves, of what we believe the world to be. We're a feedback into the world. This world wouldn't exist without us. I don't know that because I was there at the metaphysical creation of the reality, sitting in a chair somewhere in the corner observing it. I know that because that you just observe out your window what the spiritual adversary is up to, what it does, how it behaves, how it acts. What does he do, this man you seek, Clarice? What does this spiritual adversary do? What does he do, the man you're trying to catch, Clarice? He kills women. That is incidental. What do? We covet what we see every day. That is incidental. He kills women. That's not ultimately what he's looking for. What does this spiritual adversary we call not milk, what does it do? This thing we seek to understand. That is the reality giveaway. Simply observing it. So in this case, what does not milk as Buffalo Bill or vice versa? What does it do? Does it just act on its own? Does it not really care what we think? It acts on us as the Terminator 24/7, 365 via its news, its false presentations, its cake and a lake this, its fake history, its monkey man. It has one focus, us. All it does, 24/7, 365, maybe century after century, is focus on leading us or the general population or certain elements inside the population or real spiritual beings down certain paths. So it believes the world is something and it believes certain things about itself, the real spiritual being. It is a master of shaping and misshaping perception. It doesn't just go on and build the world at once and, don't we care what those real spiritual beings, Mr. Kissinger? Well, we don't care what they think. We're going to build this over here. All it does is come before us and then get us to harden its cement. This has to be part of the equation if you're going to make a statement about what you believe this reality is. This is mostly ignored. And most people listening to this, the old guard would say, what I'm saying now is Pootie Tang Awards common sense shit. Yet it's ignored. And you don't have to be old guard here to know there's one other way I've put this, maybe a few million times over the years. Go ahead, it'll be a test. It gets up in our, go ahead, say it. They know. And you got to say it the way I would say it. What does this thing do? Is it every day it gets up in our business? Have I ever said that? Well, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm sorry if you think that's really like cringeworthy the way I say it. I'm going to keep doing it that way until all these other channels at least start addressing it. Saying, no, Matt, you're wrong. We didn't agree to come here. You're this Tony you talk about. You're just a little aspect of a higher self. That's all horseshit, Matt. Let me, in a calm way, tell you, Matt, why you're wrong, why they're focused on us now. And Matt, let me explain to you. I agree with you. Of course, anybody can see they're so focused on shaping our perception and having us bow down before its trick on the shape of fools. Matt, everybody agrees with that. But let me tell you why they're doing that now. And I can prove to you, Matt, unfortunately, we're still screwed and you're still trapped here and you didn't agree to come. Now, that's a presentation I would pay attention to. Here's how many times that presentation has come. Uh-oh, it never has. Again, one of the reasons I'm making this video a big theme is there are many channels that just get very, very upset when somebody like me, a lot of thousands of people come and go, I could be considered to be an influence on many people. They don't like it when somebody like me says, can I say for sure? Have I ever said I know for sure? No. But everything to me, including the people that have had these experiences around me for many, many years, everything points to the fact that we did agree to come here. And one of the reasons I'm making this video is to many that make the opposite presentation, they really get upset when somebody puts forth that idea. Why would you get angry over it? Just calmly refute it and take the other position if it's so wrong. That's number one, what gives them away. The second part of what gives them away is the things we just talked about over the last 5 minutes. They don't address the common sense issues that I just put out. A few people, just say in the know, would criticize our entire community and those that dabble in this sort of discussion at being too focused on the individual. For example, those who talk about soul trap and we're screwed, and do you ever hear them say you're just a tiny aspect of something else or something that might not be here? It's always about you or you and you. That's it, right? It's just the individual. It's not another part of you that's somewhere else. You almost never hear that. Okay, I've mentioned that my viewpoints are in line with others, that we're an aspect of something bigger. That if that thing is not here, then how are we tricked and trapped to be in here? It's not what we know of now of ourselves inside this place. in my opinion, is not all we are. Matt, you can talk about that pie in the sky horse shit. There's just no evidence whatsoever. I mean, it's fun to throw it out, but we're just pulling it out of your ass. What if I told you there's evidence of it every single day? The dream character, again, that is a level of reality. It can be just described like that. Your consciousness there is what you believe yourself to be. No evidence of it. There's evidence of us participating in different levels of reality every single night. Didn't just pull it out of my ass. And while you're inside the consciousness of the dream character, and that consciousness is you, it's very appropriate to say to the dream character, if you could speak to it, there's another aspect of you that's greater than this place. All I'm doing is applying common sense and extending it another layer up. Is the dream character, does it stand alone inside the dream? No, there's something in the bed. You've heard me talk about that. But most people, especially those that take the negative, that this is a hell realm and all that, it's usually about the individual. This is all we are, and there is no aspect of us anywhere else. For if they talked about that, then how could we possibly be trapped? How could the dream character ever be considered to be trapped in the dream when somebody's in the bed? I see it as the same way to the relationship with what you would call oversoul or higher self. The same people that present a lot of these negative videos get very upset about, people that talk about higher self and it's so loving and caring. And no, maybe some people do. I don't present that at all. We don't know exactly what it is. All I've said is I believe that I'm an aspect of something greater. Apple TV's Severance basically presents the idea of the oversoul or the higher self as something that might be a real asshole, where it puts you, I never said it's all loving or anything like that. I think this is a valid argument. It may be loving and completely. It may not be. It may have said, I don't want to go in there and learn the lesson. I'm going to send this aspect and put you into this strife and the suffering and the emotional roller coaster. I'm going to get everything out of it. It might be a user. It might be a user and an abuser. And then, Tony would come back to me and say, stop talking about it like it's separate things, Matt. You are the dream character. It's you. Higher self is you. It's not like you are separate. Some people would say, stop thinking about you as an individual. If you're a larger aspect of something else, it is you. You're not going to do the 16 candles thing. It's who's he, I'm him. No, I'm not. Well, you kind of just did it. I'm not going to do it. The dream character is not separate. It is you. The higher self is you, but it could be considered from your individual perspective here a little like, why did you send me first over the wall, over to get screwed in here, to have trying and traumatic experiences, the 3 T's, trying, traumatic, and trauma, or worse for a lot of people. Why'd you send me over the wall first? That's what it did, and it is you. You'd only be getting upset at yourself. What movie's that? You'd only be stealing from yourself, Mr. Valentine. That's Trading Places. So this vase here, I can do a Meadowlark lemon shoe with it. He take all the stuff he's putting in his coat. Mr. Valentine, you're only stealing from yourself. If you're getting upset at higher self for sending you in here, you're only getting upset at yourself. It's like in a dream not too long ago, I got chased by wild dogs, and it was some nasty stuff. I had one the other night that was completely bizarre. So I didn't sentence my dream character. It's me. I'm him. You're only stealing from yourself, Mr. Valentine. Okay, let's go to an even more basic common sense level, right down to the roots of common sense. Now, those that like to just constantly talk about the negative and present the negative, what has evolved in this truth research community? If you talk about the beautiful things here in this existence, you're shunned, right? It's only cool to talk about the negative. You're only one of us if you present the bad news, and everything's fake. If you say, I've learned my lesson, although I stay true to my beliefs, I do, but I guess, 6 years ago or 5 years ago or something, I came out and said a certain bang event in Philadelphia looked real. Oh my gosh, was that truth or blasphemy? After Matt just spent 5 years breaking down how 90% of the big mall events and the school events were completely cake in a lake. Matt exposing every single one of them right alongside Russian vids. Matt had the gall to say one event was real. I knew he wasn't one of us. That's the mindset it's created. And a similar strain that runs through our truth community now is if you say there's anything beautiful in this world, I knew he wasn't one of us. Everything has to be hell. Everything has to be negative. Everything has to be enslaving. Oh, that's the addiction. I learned many years ago that when I made a video that was really, really bad news, that this event is completely bogus and it's all cooked up and the deep state was involved and the black ops were, the 10, 12, 15,000 views. When I put a video out with the title, "This is really good news for us," 400 views. Well, not really, but that people didn't want it. That gives it away. It gives you. Most people here are more advanced. Okay, I know. We're gonna be one. I know my people here, but our community in general still completely addicted to the fear, addicted, wanting the negative, and that's sick. So that same shunning or potential excommunication happens when a truth researcher like Matt or many of you make a video suggesting there are beautiful things here. This is a place where heaven merges and mixes with the hell. Of course, what we call Not Milk is out to propagate one side of that equation. But those that I'm mentioning, they get so angry, they don't like it. When it has to be acknowledged from time to time. I'm sorry, it's just completely illogical to say there is no heaven here mixing in with the hell. It happens every day if you can open your eyes to it, whether it be your children, your pets. I was out doing leaves and I just looked at, this is absolutely, I said to myself, there's no other place in the world I'd rather be doing these leaves. And it just was an incredible experience outside. And this heaven will always be here. Now let's not go too kumbaya, hugs and kisses and tree hugging, Matt. Let's get back to the point, right? Those that get so angry that this is a hell realm and you as a powerful spirit, you were sucked in here. You would have never agreed to this trauma. What's all the beautiful things for? Will these people even acknowledge there's beautiful things here or there's what could be called heaven here? Will they even have the gall to even say it? Do they even acknowledge if they don't have any beautiful things in their life, that's just sad. This is a mixture of heaven and hell. Last night I'm watching whatever TV, the little Fifi Addy girl, she gets under my neck, just has to curl up right under my chin, just wants to constantly be touching skin. It was a beautiful thing. I ain't got no kids. That's what I got. It was a beautiful experience. Who would deny that? There's heaven all over the place here. But I knew he was one of those. He's not one of us. Come on. Leave that vein of that ridiculous. If truthers are going to be like that, let them want to be stuck in first grade forever. So be it. The main point here is if we're so screwed and we wouldn't agree to have come here and we were just sucked in here as souls and you would have never signed up for this and it's a jail if this life is so negative and it's a hell realm, what are all the beautiful things and beautiful experiences doing here? There's only one thing, I think, if they were taking the Billy Madison podium against me, that they could say, Matt, those you're talking about, I think you're referring to materialistic pleasures of the flesh. And there's a reason why the 7 deadly sins is what you would call it's not a Pootie Tang Award, it's called a Humpty Dumpty, carried through time artificially to remind people of what this world really is. And see, you go up all across 110th Street. It's a heck of a song, by the way. It's a decent movie. You want to see what New York was? It's a little over the top, the caricatures, but what New York and Harlem was before all the fake money moved in, go watch that movie. What's it called? Is it called Across 110th Street? I guess it is. Matt, their materials of the pleasures of the flesh, they lower one's vibration, the 7 deadly sins. And so it's that simple, right? So if I have a beautiful experience with Fifi Addy girl, that's a pleasure of the flesh that I should read. If I have some beautiful experience outside raking leaves in nature, that's a material pleasure of the body. It should be rejected. Come on. We are in the body. If there's any pleasure or heaven here, it will come through the body. We are in the body. It will come through the eyes or the ears. I popped in. I'm not a big fan of the Pretenders. I just never was, but that old music gets so good to me compared to the new crap of the last 20 years, that I have a new appreciation for the old. So I liked a few songs from the greatest hits, but what was I listening to? Chrissie Hynde, and, again, I'm starting to appreciate her the last few years. First thing I think is, now when she's singing this, not that she has the most spectacular voice in the world. I'll get back to, give me one more minute. It's good, though. It's a good voice. I thought, this is real. There was no AI trying to change her inflection. It was just a person singing in front of a microphone with a basic filter. This is real, what I'm listening to. So when the lyrics or the vocal range becomes impressive, it's worth paying attention to. And that was an incredible experience, experiencing all the things that I didn't appreciate in the past. Matt, it sounds like you've assigned a lot of things that you call heaven in this world that a lot of people would consider bullshit. Well, that's the point. That's one of the whole points. It's up to us. Yes, it's not up to the leaf itself that I'm raking. If it's a heaven experience, it's not up to the fifi-addy. It's how I interpret it. It's up to us. What is Not Nilk trying to do? Shape our interpretation so everything's negative, anger, hell. Oh, the fact that it's all up to us again. Oh, that proves we're in a hell realm. It's all up to us. That proves we're completely screwed. I mean, come on. It's such a... Oh, boy. Guys, I'm making this video because some things were sent to me, and I went, here we go again. So in a way, this video is a little like the Harry Potter class that he took called Defense Against the Dark Arts. What do you do when you see a boggart? Cast the ridiculous spell. What do you do when you get a truther trying to latch you on to the negative and hell realm and everything's horrible, horrible? Cast the ridiculous spell at them. Turn it around. I mean, we have to keep our armor on. Not that most people in our truth community, they're trying their best. They're not working for Not Nilk and pushing out all their negative, and they're trying their best. Unfortunately, this is the way they see it. But who knows who or what influenced them? Who knows what they are? Okay? How many real people are here? So it doesn't matter the eloquence of their presentation or the exact words coming out of their mouth. Look for, like when Satan comes around, right, in the books and comic books with the smell of sulfur, right? I never experienced it. I hope I don't. But there's a certain giveaways, right? How about music over certain presentations? We should have learned this as first grade truthers, but many of us still forget. If there's a dark presentation and there's some creepy music in the background, and many of us still don't. The first thing I think of is, why are they using music like that? If what you're saying is so true and so insightful, you just talk. You don't need the in the background of all the mood music. If there's a truth video with mood music, I basically immediately turn it off. I was like, that I don't know if real truth can come with those sorts of let's just say bells and whistles, and it's dressing itself up to be something. If you got something important to say, just say it in a microphone. If Matt finished a video about Not Nilk, and it does several nasty things, it can be very dark, and then at the end of the video it said, Google YouTube, search scary background music, Halloween, and then I added it in, you should probably run in the other direction. I think it's such bullshit. The other giveaway talked about towards the beginning of this video was, is there some sort of anger carried forth in the presentation? Is it bubbling up? Is it a little bit nasty? Again, okay, guys, mostly when I get angry, I immediately, I'll be joking a minute later, right? Have you ever heard me just come forth with this dripping anger, this vitriol, whatever that means? I don't even do that towards the Not Nilk. We mostly make fun of it. Like what we did yesterday, and I'm still crying that the Artemis was delayed. I cried all night long, as you did, I'm sure. So, yeah, it comes and goes, but the anger just sticks with these people, with many of them. That's a giveaway, too, that probably not the best place to get your information. Somebody that is at the highest level of truth and understanding this realm would be incredibly calm, like what the idea of the Shaolin master, or those presented as such, very, very calm and so secure in their position that nothing would rattle or faze them. anger, when it's attached to a presentation or making an argument or presenting an opinion, is a facade. It's a false crutch, because a presentation that is 100% secure, solid, immutable, doesn't need any help. It doesn't repeat a thing, doesn't improve it. Getting angry, that's the same. You think of Inman WP, thinking, Ada Monroe, getting angry when telling me that don't improve your position. It's the same thing. The anger is there because the position is not very strong. Like if you were to just 2 + 2 equals 4. Is there any reason to get angry if you're debating somebody on that? No, as you know, with 2 plus, unless, well, I take it back. Maybe Terrence Howard got up in your business and just came from that Oxford debate hall or something. He might argue that 2 + 2 does not equal 4, Terrence Howard. And then President Nixon would come along and say, if the president does it, then it is not a crime. I mean, there are people that can actually skew 2 + 2 does not equal 4, but we shouldn't be angry at them. We would just know that they're wrong. So my advice is, don't just listen to the words. What is the way the presentation is being made? With the first grade element being, is there a creepy, scary music? But there's a lot of other things. We talked about the anger, of course, but there's other things too that give away the presenter. Are they being completely genuine? So 35 minutes in, I see, and I have even gotten to the main argument against these people that present in a certain way. Okay, this is a prison planet. There's no way, whatever, all the negative, okay? There's no way you would have agreed, or your higher self would agree to put an aspect into this trauma, Matt. Okay, those that take that position are so secure in that position. We forgot about this one. We should have said this one in the first 5 seconds of this video. How do you know? We're so trapped. How do you know? Well, there's only 2 ways you could even have any sort of insight. One, you've had some sort of NDE, or you can travel out of body, whatever, or you've surveyed people that have had NDEs, ADs, have traveled out of body, etc., of which many, like Tony, have said these people are getting to the astral. Okay, there could be archons at the astral. That's like 2 inches away from this reality. You think that's the ending position? That's eternity, where we need to be, the final step of the final. That's like trying to drive to Texas, and after you turn the corner out of your driveway, we say, "Are we there yet?" No, that's you turn out of the driveway, you almost run over the mailbox. That's the astral. You got to go to Texas. Okay, how could these people possibly have a know of what the gigantic design of this place is? So one that looks around as I do, notices what the Not Milk is up to, notices how powerful we are because of the attention that it gives us. This is much more applicable to this argument than someone that says, well, I had an out-of-body experience. Well, I'm observing what's happening every day and what the spiritual adversary is doing here. You had some out-of-body experience, or you talked to went into some NDE, which is the astral, which is like 2 feet outside your driveway in terms of, so what? That gives you an insight as to, because there could be an archonic being that pops up on the other side of your mailbox as to all that there is. And in terms of all there is and all there ever will be, it's not just driving to Texas, it's then times 1,000,000 more. But the people here in the body, they know. I say, I don't know. How many times have I said, I don't have these experiences? I ain't flying out of body and all that. I observe. I know that's limited, Matt. That's limited by the senses. Well, Pootie Tang Award. Of course it is. That's all we have. Because people have had out of body that gives them some insight into the metaphysical reasons this whole universe was designed for souls and spirit. Come on. Even this stuff about Gnosticism, how could be wherever it came from, the demiurge and Sophia, well, where did it come from? Who named it? How did it know? Did Sophia just plop down on somebody's couch 4,000 years ago? So, who are you? I'm Sophia. Who the fuck do you think I am? Well, where did it all come from? Sophia, the demiurge. Where did it all come from? How is it confirmed? It's interesting ideas. There is a nasty thing here that wants to influence who we really are. Satan, the demiurge, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I like the repeating themes, but to talk about it like somebody's completely in the know as to how would you possibly know? It's ridiculous. If you went out of body, again, some smart people would say you didn't get very far. You just got around the other side of the mailbox. People have told me that much of my presentation lines up with what's called Gnosticism. Here's how much Gnostic text I've read. Zero. Zero. If it lines up, well, then it lines up. Great. So I don't care what it says. But in terms of what we're talking about here, where did it all come from? I know the Gnostic texts, and then someone will tell me about the Nag Hammadi and the Dead Sea Scrolls and all that stuff. I could have stuffed something in an old pottery and shoved it in a cave and said, look what I found. Let's just leave that aside for now. A Christian would come to me, and I'm sorry, I don't have another word for it. Their backstory makes sense. It's not my belief, but they have a whole backstory. Matt, here's the book this is what happened. This is when Jesus came, and this is what the New Testament is. It makes sense. Again, it's not my belief set, but they can explain to me how it all came to be, why the belief set of what exists today, where it all originated from. The Gnosticism, okay, where'd that come from? Sophia, the demiurge, blah, blah, blah. Well, fine. There is a bad actor here. I think we all would agree with that, whatever you want to call it. Knock, the demiurge, the asshole dark, the plumber's ass crack. I have more names for the son of bitch than anybody. But where did the names, Sophia, where'd it come from? Oh, come on. I've never seen a video on this. I've never heard anybody talk about it. Okay, not Matt. Well, let me give you the whole background. Gnosticism is an offshoot of Christianity, and it's split off, and I've heard all that. What does that tell me? There's somebody wrote things down on a page, and is the original Greek exist for Gnosticism? And well, why should I believe that? So some guy in the body that just whacked himself off put something down on a piece of paper. I hope he washed his hand. So okay, somebody put something on a piece of paper. Okay, yeah. So why should I believe it? I don't care about all that stuff. What I do is I observe what this thing right here in front of us is trying to do to us every day, and is giving itself away. It used to be more subtle in the past. What it needs from us, what it needs to do to us is in our face and obvious today. We know what's going on in this realm because it gives itself away. Reality has given itself away. That's what I look to, what's right in front of me, not some note scribbled on some text that some jerk found in a pottery cave or something. And look what I found. I don't forget all that horse shit. Anyway, that'll piss a few people off. Maybe I'm going to look to my subscribers to see if they went down. Thanks for listening.